Okay, so real quick, this video is going to cover how to solve quadratics with square roots. And what we really mean to say when we say that is basically we're just getting x by itself in the most straightforward way possible, right? So for example, looking here at this first example, you could factor this out into a difference of squares, right? So that's one way to do this one. So we could say that this becomes 3x plus 7 times 3x minus 7 in that real conjugate pair, right? And then obviously our two answers, so x1 would be negative 7/3 and x2 would be positive 7/3, right? Another way that we could do that is to just start getting x by itself. So I've got 9x squared minus 49 equals 0. Add 49 to both sides. Now I have 9x squared equals 49. Divide by 9 on both sides. Take the square root of both sides, and we get the exact same thing, that x is equal to plus or minus 7/3, right? So let's see another example of that here. Okay, so, and I'll tell you what, we already saw, let's do this third example here just to keep this video short. So right here, we've got 5x squared equals 16. I'm just going to divide by 5 on both sides. And now I've got x squared equals 16 over 5. Take the square root of both sides. We get x equals plus or minus the square root of 16 over 5. Now, I can simplify what's on top. I can say that I've really got, x equals plus or minus 4 over, well, we can't simplify the square root of 5 underneath, right? And if you remember from geometry, we do not like irrational denominators. We can't have a square root or any root for that matter that's irrational, any number that's irrational in our denominator, right? So the way that we remedy this is to multiply top and bottom by the irrational number, and this quote unquote fixes our problem. So we're going to end up with 4 square root of 5 over 5. So our actual answer here is plus or minus 4 square root of 5 over 5. Right, so a couple simple examples there. Now let's look at some more complicated looking ones. In fact, they're really not. Okay, so same idea here, except we see we've got a whole host of operations that we have to undo, right? We have to do the inverses. And like I tell you, what we're doing is the order of operations in reverse. Or you can also say that we're working from the outside in to this x to get it by itself. I like using the latter. It's up to you. Either way, we're going to start by getting rid of this minus 5. So let me come over here, give myself some room. So 2x minus 3 squared minus 5 equals 0. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So now I've got 2 times x minus 3 all squared equals 5. Then I divide by 2. So now I've just got x minus 3 all squared equals 5 over 2. Then I take the square root of both sides. So I'm going to come down over here where I've got some more room. So I'm going to have x minus 3 is equal to, and remember, every time we take a square root, right, it's positive or negative. And then we see we have an irrational denominator again. So when I fix this, we're going to end up with plus or minus the square root of 10 all over 2. And those would be my two solutions, right? And we're still not done because I still have this minus 3 sitting here. Okay, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And now I've just got 3 plus or minus the square root of 10 over 2. And what that means is one solution for x is that x is 3 plus, right, plus the square root of 10 over 2. Or the other solution is that x is 3 minus the square root of 10 over 2. Okay, so that pretty much covers how we use square roots to solve quadratic equations. I know there's a bunch of other examples on here that I can show you, but really they're going to all pretty much work out the same. That's it for this video. If you have any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, goodbye.